All right, today we're going on a journey, and not to some faraway place, but somewhere much, much closer. We're going deep into the operating system of your own life to find the one single principle that is shaping every single result you get.
But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop? You know, the same kind of problems just keep showing up again and again. Maybe it's a pattern in your relationships or a financial wall you just can't seem to break through. Why does that happen?
Well, it's because those problems, they aren't the real issue. They're just the echo. And you can't fix an echo by yelling at it. You can't change partners or change jobs and expect the echo to disappear. If you really want to make a change, you have to go find the original sound that's creating it in the first place.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to trace that echo all the way back to its source. We're going to literally reverse engineer our lives using this really powerful formula that shows us the blueprint of our own reality.
Okay, here it is. Let's start at the top with our current results. This is everything: your health, your bank account, your relationships. Now, where did those come from? Well, they're the direct result of the choices we've made in the past. Simple enough, but those choices weren't random, right? They were guided by our habits and our personality. And our personality itself, that was built from our repeating thoughts and beliefs. But here's the kicker. What's at the very bottom of this entire chain? It all comes from one single thing: the image that we hold in our mind.
And this leads us to this incredibly profound principle. And it's captured perfectly in this Vietnamese phrase, doi hing, doi doi. It means, quite literally, change the image, change the life. Now, this isn't just some nice-sounding quote. This is the master key. But that makes you wonder, right? How in the world can an internal image possibly create my external reality?
Let me show you how with a really quick story. Take a look at this. For you and me, it's a pen. No question. We see it and our mind instantly knows I use that to write. That's the reality we see. Okay, but what happens if a puppy walks into the room? It's not going to see a pen, it's going to see the world's greatest chew toy. For that puppy, the reality of this object is that it's for playing and chewing.
So here's the million-dollar question. Who's right? What is this thing really? Is it a pen or is it a chew toy? The answer is, it's both, but it's also neither. Think about it. When there's no one in the room to look at it, it's not a pen and it's not a toy. It's just an object. It's pure potential. The pen-ness or the toy-ness gets projected onto it by the mind that's looking at it. And that brings us right back to our own lives. The people we meet, the opportunities we get, the challenges we face, they're all just like that pen. They are neutral. It's the image we're holding inside, our mental blueprint, that projects a reality onto them. So you see, the world isn't really happening to you, it's reflecting from you.
Okay, so if this internal image is basically running the whole show, we need to understand where it comes from. And to do that, we're going to need a map of our inner universe, so we can see exactly what's doing the projecting.
So let's start with a solid definition of what's truly real. The source material gives us a great one for what it calls su chun tut, the true or the real. It's anything that does not change across space and time. It's the constant, the solid ground in a world that's always shifting.
And this concept helps us see that we basically have two different selves. On one side, you have your core self, or Tom. This is the part of you that is stable and unchanging. It's just the pure, unfiltered experience of hearing, seeing, knowing, before your mind slaps a label on it. Then, on the other side, you have the ego, or Ton. This is the social you, the part that's always changing, always being pulled around by things like greed or anger or pride.
Now, most of us spend our entire lives trying to control that fluctuating ego, right? Trying to manage the storm. But real peace, real stability, doesn't come from controlling the waves. It comes from realizing you're the deep, calm ocean underneath them all. It comes from anchoring yourself to that unchanging core self.
So we've got the blueprint of reality, and we've got a map of our inner world. But we don't live in a bubble. We have to interact with other people. So how can we use all this to really connect with them? Well, it turns out there's a code for that too. It's called the 4 circles of knowledge. So first, there's stuff you know that you know. Easy, like your own name. Second, there's stuff you know you've forgotten, like, I don't know, most of high school math. Third, there are things you know you don't know. For me, that's how to fly a plane. But then there's the 4th circle, and this is the biggest and most important one, the huge, vast universe of things you don't even know you don't know. Now here's where communication breaks down. We can only talk from our first circle, from what we know. But if the person we're talking to doesn't have that same knowledge, if for them it falls into one of their unknown circles, they just can't understand.
It's like you're speaking two completely different languages.
And this gives us a really powerful and kind of counterintuitive rule for communication. If you want to connect with someone, if you want to teach them something or persuade them, you can't start with what's in your head. You have to build a bridge. You have to start from what they already know.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We have the blueprint for reality, we have the map of our inner self, and we have the code for connection. Now, it's time to stop being a passenger and become the architect of your own world.
And the path to doing this is actually very direct. Remember, that mental image is built from what we hear, see, say, and know. So if you want to change the image, you have to consciously change the inputs. First, change your knowing. Go out and find wisdom that serves the life you want to build. Second, change what you're saying. Speak as if that reality is already happening. And finally, and this is so important, take control of what you hear and see. Curate your environment, the media you consume, the people you talk to. Because when you change these inputs, that inner image has to change. And when the core image changes, your life will transform to match it. It has no other choice.
So, here's the ultimate takeaway from all of this. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are not just being tossed around by a random world. You are the architect. And every single thing you allow into your mind, every sight, every sound, every word, is a building block for the reality you're going to experience.
At the end of the day, your life is just a mirror, and it's reflecting the image that you're holding inside. So the only question left to ask is, what image are you going to choose? What will you choose to see?